Welcome to the e-learning. This initiative is taken by Cambridge International School, the SUA. I'm Navdeep, working as PGDIP here. Today we will focus on yet another topic of Python. We were covering the introduction to Python. Today we will cover a few more points regarding the basics of Python programming. So students, what are the topics that we have covered till now? First is the Python keywords. They are also known as the reserved words, identifier, and what are the rules for naming the identifier. Then we covered the different data types and operators. Yeah, in data types is what is a data type means what type of value a variable can hold and what type of operations we can perform on that very variable. Like this is the broader picture of the data types. We have numbers, major categories, numbers, sequences, sets, none, and mapping. And in numbers, we have again three categories: integers, floating point, and complex. And under integer, we have another one data type that is boolean, that is true and false. In sequences, we have strings, lists, and tuples. And under mapping, we discussed a bit of dictionary. Students, we will cover all these data types in detail in the coming lectures. Then yesterday we focused on the operators. So what are the operators? Operators are the specific mathematical or logical operations that we apply on values. So values are basically what are values are represented by the operands, and the operator works on them. We have two category of operators: unary operator and binary operator. Presently we are focusing on the binary operators, which works on two operands. Later on we will also cover the unary operator. So the example here, you can see that 10 plus num, this is combined together, this formulates the expression. 10, we can say this is first operand, num is the second operand, and here we are applying a the addition operation over these two. So we covered the arithmetic, the examples we discussed. Arithmetic operator, first is the plus, we have multiplication, division, and multiplication. Then we covered under the next we have a relation operator, which basically takes two values and compare those values. Clear? Either the first and second will be equal, or they will be first one will be greater, or the second one will be greater, or like that. So this test determines the relationship among the variables. Then we covered the assignment operator. What is that? Assignment operator is assignment operator changes the value of the variable to its left. You can see here like I am putting a value, assigning a value 2 to this num. So num is on the left hand side, so this 2 will be assigned to num. Similarly, num1 value will be assigned to num2 variable. So this is how we are using the assignment operator. So this is also very important operator in Python programming or in every programming. Then we have logical operators. Students, we have three logical operators: and, or, not. How they function: logical operator evaluates either to true or false based on the logical operands on its either side. Then the last we were having the membership operators. Like here we are having in and not in. So membership operator is used to check if the value is a member of the given sequence or not. Clear? So whether the value that we are testing falls under the given sequence or not. If it is there, so this will give you the true. If it is not there, this will give us false. So then we have another membership operator, not in. So it does the reverse of the first one. Moving forward, students, next we have expressions. So this is another constituent of the programming. We are already focusing a bit on this. An expression is defined as a combination of constants, variables, and operators. An expression always evaluates to a value or standalone variable is also considered as an expression, but a standalone operator is not an expression. So we'll see here. Some of the examples of valid expressions are given here. Like first is num minus 20.4. So here this 20.4 will be subtracted from this one. Similarly, next we have uh, another expression. So these are the examples of. So we can test these expressions on the Python platform. So students, as you can see here, like I have tested the first expression here. The second one is I type here like, here we are working in the Jupyter notebook divided by, let's say, 14.0 and plus 8 in parentheses plus 3. So here students, when we use the parentheses also in the expression, so you know the precedence of the operators comes into being. So precedence means that first of all these brackets will be evaluated, and then its results will be basically assigned and used and solved in this expression. And then you know that division is having a higher in the BODMAS formula also, division is having a higher priority. So first this expression is solved, then these two are divided, and then its results and this result are added together. So this is how we get the result. Run this one. Yeah, so how this is evaluated: first these two are added, then these two are divided, and then the both are added together. So this expression is solved here. Take another expression, 20 plus 30 into, let's say, 40. So how we get the result? First these two will be added, then they will be multiplied by 40. So you see here 2000. First this is the its sum is 50, multiplied by 40, you will get 2000. So we have to focus on the precedence of the operators also. Now coming back to our slides. Now the next is, I have already discussed a bit about the precedence of operators. So an expression contains more than one operator. So their precedence, they means their order or hierarchy determines which operator should be applied first. So we have taken that division is having a higher priority over plus, and then this, or in that case the higher priority will be executed first, and then the lower priority operator will be evaluated. So higher precedence operator is evaluated before the lower precedence. In the following example, like we have discussed, like multiplication and division is having a higher priority or more priority than plus and minus. Students, important thing here is there that we need to note, like parenthesis is having a higher priority over the any other operator, so it overrides the other precedence. And the another point we note to note down that for operators with equal precedence, like plus and minus, they have equal precedence. So in that case, the expression is evaluated from left sides to the right side. So this points to be noted down very carefully. Moving next, the next important task here is how to do the inputting and outputting in Python. So this is also a very important point. First we focus on the input and then subsequently to the output. So in Python we have input function which takes values entered by the input device such as keyboard. So the user can input the value from the keyboard, and the input function prompts the user to the entered area, enter data. It accepts all user input, whether alphabets, numbers, or special characters, as a string. So this takes a value as a string. So the syntax is given below, like input, and then in parentheses we have a prompt. What is a prompt? Is student, it is just a message here. So this is basically a string message here. And whatever the value you input here, it converts into a string and then assigns to a variable towards the left hand side. So this is the basic syntax of a input function. We'll take few examples in the Python platform. So coming to the Python platform, I first, let's say I take a variable f name. Let's say this is the first name, and then I use the input function input, enter your name, and then I subsequently just run this one, and it asks about your name. So let's say I enter a name Navdeep, just press enter. Clear? So see, I can see the type of my variable, what type of value it is getting. So you run this one, so you get that str, the string type value this is holding. Clear? So let's say I want to input a age here now. Input, and then I say enter your age. So I run this one. So this, let's say I enter, let's say any value 23. Clear? So let's say if I am checking the type data type of age variable, so what this will give me, again string. But students, you know that basically age is a numeric value. Clear? So how to convert this one into a number? So I will use here converter typecasting, basically to convert this one to integer one, to convert the string, because by default it takes converts into a string. So I have used here which one, converted into integer one. So you see here when I execute this one, it is asking about the age. So let's say again enter 23. Okay, so now let's say if I say now type of age, so now it is has been now it's the age type has now converted to integer, because you see here I have used here typecasting, and now it is converted into a integer data type. Similarly, for output purpose we have a print function. Clear? So let's say I want to print some message, hello. So you run this one, you will get that message here. So you want to have expression here. Let's say you want to multiply 10 into 2.5. So you see what result I get here, 25. So this is how the basically for inputting we use the input function, and for outputting we basically the basic most function is the print function that we use in Python. Coming back to the our PPT, students, so we have discussed the vital part here. Inputting and outputting is very important part in the program. So moving forward, next we have debugging. So debugging is basically the process to remove the errors. First of all, we need to categorize the errors, what type of errors we can encounter in a program while we are executing. So first category is we have syntax error, second we have logical errors, and third we have runtime. So we see what is a syntax error is. Students, syntax error is nothing but when we know each language is having certain rules. So when we are not following that rule 100%, so we get the syntax error. So like any programming language, Python has rules that determine how a program is to be written. This is called syntax. The interpreter, the Python interpreter can interpret a statement of a program only if it is syntactically correct. So if we are not following the syntax, it will give a error. So like you can see here, for example, parentheses must be in pairs. If we have opened the left parenthesis, it must have a corresponding pair of right parents. For you can say this is the opening parents, this is the closing parents. So if let's say we have written the expression like this, we have opened but we have not closed the parenthesis. So if this pair is not available here, so this will give us a syntax error. So such errors need to be removed before we can execute our program. So such type of errors are basically the syntax error. So this is the important part in programming. If we are not able to remove the syntax error, our program will not run. Students, the next category of error is the logical errors. Now, very important to understand what are the logical errors are there. A logical error doesn't stop execution, but the program behaves incorrectly. So here the program will not stop, but it will not give the desired results and produces wrong output or undesired output. Since the program interprets successfully and when the logical errors are present in it becomes difficult to identify. So students, it's the point is to be considered here that logical errors are difficult to remove as compared to the syntax error. For example, that if we wish to find the average of two numbers, let's say we have two numbers 10 and 12, and we write the code as like you see 10 plus 12 divided by 2. So here in this part what happens that this 2 gets first divided by 12 is get divided by this 2. So we'll get here 6 and 6 plus 10 we will get 16 as a result. But you know that the average of these two numbers if added together they become 22 divided by 2, we should get 11 as average. Clear? So the syntax is absolutely fine, the syntax is correct, but our logic is not correct. Clear? So in that case we will not get the desired output. So such category of errors are basically named as logical errors. And finally students, the third category of error is runtime. So when a runtime error comes when we are running our program and at that time some error occurs, that is the runtime error. A runtime error causes the abnormal termination of the program while it is executing. Runtime error is when the statement is correct syntactically but interpreters cannot execute it. So it is now the beyond the reach of the interpreter to execute that one. So we need to understand what type of which error we can say that this is a runtime error. For example, we have a statement having the division operation in the program. By mistake we have a denominator value is 0. So you know mathematically we know that we cannot divide a number if we divide a number by 0 it gets infinity. But now how the system will came to know that this division is by 0 and how we will be calculating it by 0. So such type of error if we write at any time we divide a number by 0, so we'll get the such type of error, they are called the runtime error. So this is one of the example. So the process of identifying and removing the logical errors and runtime error is called debugging. So debugging means we have to remove all these errors. We need to debug a program so that it can run successfully and generate the desired output. So the debugging is very vital part of the programming. So students, hope you have understood the today's points. They are very important and need to be remembered, and whatever the basics few steps we have covered, you need to practice those steps. So at the end I thank you all uh, on the behalf of my school. So I thank you all for this.